Hi guys, great to have you guys here. Lesson 4. Are they successful value investor in Asia? Hello, welcome to class 4. Today we're going to talk about some of the example of successful value investor here in Asia. We want to highlight to you guys these very famous and successful value investors here in Asia as a way to prove to you that value investing still works in Asia. It is not a concept that is only applicable to the mature market like the US or Europe market. And we can really generate very long-term wealth in the stock market, even right here in Asia. Just a basic disclaimer before we begin. I think the main guy to highlight about successful value investor here in Asia has to be this guy, right? Dato Seri Cheah Cheng Hye. His story is quite incredible. If you have time, do Google him and look at his story. He's basically a true rag to riches story in the finance line. And he started out born in Malaysia and started out as a newspaper folder in the beginning, and went to become a journalist and move into the fund management business after that. And he is the co-founder of the very big fund management house Value Partners, listed in Hong Kong as well. And he considered himself an Asia equity specialist. At the beginning, he focused a lot on the small and mid cap in Hong Kong, and then moving into stocks in China. For the whole duration of his investment since 1993, the beginning of Value Partners, his fund has generally returned around 15% for his shareholders, which is a very decent amount, and has beaten the market quite substantially. And right now, I think they manage about 14 billion in total, making him one of the largest Asia-based fund management house here. And the second person we want to highlight is Dr. Tang. Dr. Tang is the founder of FIM Asset Management. They have both offices in Malaysia and in Singapore. He's also one of the pioneers in the fund management industry in Malaysia. And since founding the company in 1994, he has actually created many record-breaking funds and won a lot of accolades for his work. We did interview him for our book, Value Investing in Asia, as well. And from the interview, he told us that he looked at companies with good management, good high margins, and strong growth. These are the kind of company that he really likes. And FIM Asset Management has pushed many of its funds to become the best performing funds in the industry over the past decade or so. And at his peak, Dr. Tan actually managed close to about US dollars 2 billion, which make him one of the larger boutique funds around. Another one of my favorite fund managers in Singapore is actually Mr. Tang from Target Asset. He is a very low-key person who managed a boutique fund in Singapore. He founded the firm in 1996. And I think he has one of the best track record over the past 20 years. His investment focus on equity in the Asian stock market. And if you do Google his company, they do have a company profile and a presentation. Basically, their strategy is to invest in company that has is trading cheaply to its intrinsic value, and they do it through a bottoms-up approach. We will talk about that in our later classes as well, on what is bottom-up approach and what is top-down approach. the different type of strategy of investing. And some of the company he likes to invest in are companies in the early growth stage of growth, or companies that have fallen out of favor or has hit on hard times, and he feel that they can turn around, right? He focused on finding five key factors within a company. He want the right business, he want the right management, the right financials and valuations, and getting the right risk reward ratios. I think it's very important when we invest, we look at both the risk and the reward of an investment. Many people tend to forget about the risk of a company when they invest. And lastly, the fifth thing, he want to invest in stocks that has the right liquidity. This is not really a strategy, but rather due to the size of his fund, he need to invest in slightly larger company. I think if he is to invest in too small of a company, it might be too illiquid for him if he want to sell out. Right? His strategy has worked well in the past past decade or so. From 1996 to 2010, he has actually returned 70% a year for his clients. So it's definitely one of my favorite fund manager in Asia. And another one, great investor, is Mr. Wong. He is also the founder of APS Asset Management. It's also a boutique fund house that is started in 1995 by him. And today the fund house manage about 2.6 billion in asset. And his flagship fund has actually returned close to 20% since the last 7 years. So he has a good track record, and Mr. Wong is also one of our interviewee in our book as well. And he shared with us his approach during the interview, where he said that he has a unique approach when researching for investment. He called it the 4 alpha approach, where he looked for stocks that can produce what we say alpha, as in the outperformance characteristic of a stocks. And he termed them as, number one, structural alpha, that stocks that are operating in growing industry. And dynamic alpha, the second one, where stocks are turning around in a cyclical industry, where he feels that they are able to turn the company around. And the third one is what he called economic alpha, where it's just stocks that are trading very cheaply from its intrinsic value, and he feels that there's value to be found there. And lastly is what he called the opportunistic alpha, which are more event-based driven special situation, like company in a merger talk or a buyout possibility. And these are some of the alpha that he can seek out in his investment. And from his track record, he has certainly proved that his approach is very, very successful in the market. So we just want to highlight these few investors in the market, and to show you that value investing concept has been around in Asia for a long time. And many of the previous 4 investors have been in the market since the 80s. And they have shown us that the concept and the strategy of value investing definitely work right here in Asia. Other notable value investors in Asia are over here on the list, both many of them located in Singapore or Hong Kong. And it just goes to show there are many, many more examples. If you just Google on some of the fund managers or great investors in Asia, you'll find many, many names. And it just goes to show that the strategy and the concept of value investing is definitely applicable in Asia. And all we have to do is to have the patience and the determination to learn the proper way of investing. All right, till next time, we'll see you soon. Hi, my name is Stanley. I just want to thank you for watching our video. If you like it, do share with all your friends. And if you have not signed up for our course yet, do sign up down below, and you'll get all the links to the write-up, to the PDF, and also to the videos. So get ready for next class. I'll see you then.